Welcome back to the channel. We're joined by our very special resident caged expert, Dr. Molly Miller.
I feel like there's too much power in that title. I'm here for it.
Well, what we're going to try to do today is present you sort of a sampler platter, if you will, of all the beautiful things that you can do with the CAGED system. We're going to present the 7 levels of CAGED.
Yes, the non-committal version where you can just kind of like peruse and see what's up with CAGED.
The speed dating version. Yes. Love it. Let's start with number 1, which is where everybody starts, and I also feel like this is kind of where everybody stops. So tell us about the first level.
Yeah, level 1 is seeing the shapes. And I think people are like, okay, whatever, CAGED is just these 5 shapes, who cares? But that's just part 1 to begin your expansive journey on all the levels of CAGED. Because it's not just like you can play a major chord using CAGED. You can do like scales, arpeggios, solo waves, make it major, make it minor, make it dominant, make it augmented, do any sort of quality of chord, all through the CAGED system. So before we dive into what these actual 5 shapes are, just as a reminder, what CAGED is the C, A, G, E, and D shapes. It's circular. It's a way to visualize the instrument.
And when you say C, A, G, E, D, we're talking about the C chord, the A chord, the G chord, the E chord, and the D chord.
Yes.
But we're visualizing those shapes up and down the neck.
Because they're mobile, which is we're about to find out.
Okay.
Should we play these 5 shapes?
Yeah, let's get our groove going.
Okay, so chord 1, C open chord.
Beautiful.
Then we're going to connect C to this A shape, but it's mobile, so we got to move it up, and it's that A shape, but your C chord.
Nice.
What happens next? C, A, I can spell CAGED, G. So we have this G shape. We're going to move up to find that C root, and there it is. So we got C, A, G. 2 more to go. That E. So we're going to take this E, bring it up. 1, 2, 3. Here we go.
Nice. Yep.
And the last one is D shape, moved all the way up. Here we go. Beautiful. Should we do all 5 of them together?
Yeah.
2 beats each. 2, 3, 4. C, switch. Wow. And this is important. They all connect. It is circular. So what happens at the end of that D shape? It connects back to C, just an octave higher. I'm hoping what you will see with this CAGED stuff is that they all connect. Notice how the front of this is the back of this. The front of this is the back of this. Front of this is the back of this. Front of this is the back of this. So it's one big, beautiful circle of C, A, G, E, D. But it's all one actual chord, just 5 different shapes.
That's all, those are all C chords that you just played.
5 C chords.
Right. Now what? Now what?
I think to understand they're mobile is very important, because that is like level 2. It's not just that they're these shapes.
Right.
It's like, cool, 5 C chord.
Like, let's do this in a different key now.
Yeah. Want to try it in F?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so F. And I feel like as we dive in, the thing to remember to you future cagers is that these 5 shapes always connect in the same way. So C always connects to A, connects to G, connects to E, connects to D, connects to C. So where would we start if we were in the key of F now?
This is an F chord, right? Which most people will know, but it's an E shape.
Yes, because this was your E
This
shape.
was the E chord.
And now
E shape. Boom.
Boom.
Okay, so
we
we're
start-
starting this cycle now from the E shape.
Yep.
So C, A, G, E. The next one is D, because you said it's cyclical.
Yes.
So C, A, G, E, D.
D.
So there's the D. Okay.
1, 2, 3. Here we go. So E shape, and then we got to go to that D. Here we go. What's next? C, A, G, E, D, C. And there's, what, good. What connects to C, A? After A would be G, right? And we have that 1 to make it a full circle. Let's do the octave of that E shape, but it's an F chord.
Right.
Let's go backwards,
Okay.
because CAGED goes both ways.
So we're doing the exact same thing that we did in the last key, but now in the key of F.
Yes, because it is a mobile circular system. So we are level 2ing right now.
changing keys.
Back to home, right where we started.
D shape, and then back to E shape. Nice. Beautiful. This is like the anchor,
yes.
right, of where everything else is going to be built on. So we did it in C, now we did it in F. So what would be the next level?
We're building our house, right? The foundation. So we got the dirt, I actually don't know how to build a house, but we are building a house, this hypothetical house, right?
Yeah, right.
So next would be, I think, seeing the chord tones, because that's what a chord is, right? To start are those root 3s and 5s, those
right.
core chord tones. Really knowing where your roots and then your 3rds and 5ths are is going to set you up for success. So let's go to D.
Okay.
It's just a whole step up from where we originally started in C. So boom. So we're in that C shape.
Yeah.
And the cool thing to see is all these shapes, all the chord tones, all the roots live inside of it. It's root, 3rd,
right.
5th, root, 3rd. Just
right.
living in that shape.
Yeah, this is where like doing your homework, it's going to take a little time to really get all this, but we're just kind of demonstrating it. So root, 5th, root, 3rd, 5th. Just being able to visualize those chord tones, or really triad.
And understand them.
And understand them, yeah.
And then G shape, root, 3rd, 5th, root, and it depends how you play your G shape, but 3rd's here, 5th is here, root.
Right, yeah.
Then E shape, you got the E shape.
Yep. 5th, root, 3rd, 5th, root. Yep.
And that final part, D shape, we got root 5, root 3.
Right.
They all live there.
Mm-hmm. That's the end goal, is just to be able to, you're in a key and it lights up, right?
Yes.
Like not just the dots, but also the numbers or the chord tones that are associated with those spots on the neck. All right, great. Well, let's just jam on maybe the roots and the chord tones with our track in D.
Great.
You got the first one?
Great. I'll be in this C shape. Good, I'll do the G shape. Yeah. Hey! So we just went through all these chord tones. It's about seeing that part, but then starting to understand that you can do more. Inside each shape is chord tones, but also scales.
Scales, which leads us to the next level.
I know,
beautiful.
scales.
Scales, same track, and we're gonna fill that out now with pentatonic and then major.
So we'll be like in the C shape, in the key of D.
Yep.
We did our chord tones, but now let's do a scale. We can build it out with like a pentatonic scale. So it's not just 1, 3, and 5, it's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. But it lives inside of this.
Right, you're visualizing this.
Yes.
And that's why we started earlier with that, right? That's how you build it up.
It was like shape, visualization, right? Then
those are the bones, and now you're adding little bits of flesh.
Yes,
right?
so after pentatonic, what if you played a major scale? It's so pretty. And what are you visualizing? Beautiful.
Right.
But we can do this in other shapes, right?
Yeah, let's do it. The A shape is next, right?
Power the A.
Okay, so pentatonic. Okay, right? And then
Major.
Okay.
So notice, I'm not just going, I started here before you watched, but then I went, I can make music, but I see.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like as soon as you can do that scale up and down, don't practice it anymore.
Make music with it.
Yeah, right? Like just find the juicy notes within that scale that
they're all
feel
juicy.
good. Right?
It's just how you hit them.
Yeah. Wow, that was really fun. So, you know, when we're just kind of jamming in a diatonic one key jam like that, and you are able to visualize all of those different elements, it's so fun. Like, it's just like an endless little sonic playground to just like,
It's endless.
right? But you did something towards the end where you sort of went, you were like basically just, you know, freely moving down, which does lead us to the next thing, which is connecting these shapes.
Yes, which is honestly a massive part of CAGED, because that's like such an important part that people get stuck on, and that's when you don't love CAGED, because you don't get how it's so powerful, because you connect.
It also does, admittedly, it takes time to get from like just being kind of boxy like that and then quickly being able to visualize that.
Totally.
It does take time. But that's why we do have the CAGED course from Molly Miller available at pickupmusic.com. No. But really, check it out. It's amazing. It's changed thousands of guitar players' lives.
Wow.
Playing, their love life, it's all changed.
Oh my God, I need to take the CAGED course.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to do a Queen of California, John Mayer inspired track. Let's get the track rolling and we'll talk about connecting. So first of all, I'm just going to sort of imagine, okay, just find my bones here, right? Okay. And then connecting them.
Totally. And I like how you just connect 2 shapes at a time.
Right. There's so much music in there.
It's not like connect all 5 at once. It's like, just see how this connects to this. Yeah. Should we connect another spot?
Yeah, I was just thinking like, okay, so let's find our V here.
Yes, you can connect forward and backwards. He keeps going.
Right.
There you went from D to
D
E.
shape. Back into E shape.
From E shape, G.
Nice. Yeah, beautiful.
It feels really good.
Wow. Yeah. All right, great. Well, let's move on to the 6th level.
Make it minor.
Make it minor. This is like where people don't even really get to this far with
Yes,
CAGED,
people
right?
really fall off CAGED here, I will say.
So walk us through how to make CAGED minor.
So let's go to D and talk about that level of making it minor. So
Okay, cool.
What did we do? We saw the shapes. We saw the chord tones, those roots, thirds and fifths. We saw how scales live inside of it. We were connecting it across the fretboard.
Right.
But how do you make something minor?
Right.
You take that sweet, tender third and make it a sad, flat third. And you really see it in the shape is what's cool. Because it's not just like, where's my third? But it's also like you see this A major to A minor shape, right?
Right. It's just one note that's changing. Let's put on a track and let's just kind of experiment a little bit. Call out the shapes for me.
Gosh, it's so moody. A minor shape, keep going up. Connect, because you can connect in minor too. Can you do it in G minor shape? Oh, you're already there. Keep going up, E minor shape. Home base, right? This is a happy place for a lot of people. Damn, Karl. So emotional. Close it out with that D minor shape, yo.
Now again, if you're not just going to be able to do that overnight, right? It takes some time. You know, the other thing is like, for the purpose of demonstrating all this, we're playing in a little bit of a restricted way. You know, like we're putting these parameters on ourselves for the sake of demonstration. Like if that track comes on, I'm probably not going to sit there and think about trying to necessarily connect all those shapes.
It goes back to that like know the rules to break the rules thing. You've spent so much time seeing the fretboard, understanding CAGED, that now like it just lights up and you don't have to be like, I'm gonna think about this A minor shape. You're just like, this is G minor everywhere.
Exactly. And it actually leads us to the final step,
Wow.
which is kind of like applying it. When you get to a certain point with fretboard freedom or, you know, CAGED freedom, it's like knowing what's available to you. And, and then it's no longer like any guesswork of where the notes are. It's now comes to like musical taste and your experience and how much you've listened to music and your influences, right? So, you know, if we put on a track. Let's put on a track that you've never heard. Let's take away the caged restrictions. We'll just like see what happens. All right, so I know this track. She hasn't heard it yet. I'm just gonna kind of tell you the chords, and then I want you to just kind of do what Molly would do, and then we'll reverse engineer it.
Okay, cool.
So it's in E major,
Cool.
then to C major 7, and then just back and forth with those.
Cool. Cool, fun.
I mean, there's definitely like Dr. Molly Miller, like you've studied your theory. There's that baked into this too, right? It's not just coming 100% from Cage.
But it started.
But it started there.
Kids, it started.
And as far as like, you know, how you navigate the fretboard, it's caged, but
Yeah,
there's
is
knowledge in there too, for sure.
It's seeing how everything connects.
Yeah.
And then because I've spent so much time on it, like I can make it connect whether major, minor, dominant, anything across the fretboard. Like we've spent so much time looking at the shapes, how they connect to the scales, how they connect to everything.
All right, great. This is like a really great review for me as well, just to kind of like go through all that today. So thanks for being here and
Thanks
doing
for having me.
That was, again, a bird's eye view or a little sampler platter of all these different beautiful things that you can do with the Cage system. If you want to go deeper on each one, again, we have our amazing courses with Molly and other folks. I have a Hendrix caged course. There's a John Mayer themed caged course. Check it out, and thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.